Hey Bit Squad, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got a very special episode of my podcast, Beards and Bitcoins, along with my co-host Jay Chains. We had the honor to have Crypto Beadles, aka Robert Beadles, on the podcast this week. We talked a lot about Monarch and just kind of the current state of where things are in crypto. So make sure you guys stay tuned and watch that. Don't forget to go to iTunes and give us a rating there in order to enter our 5,000 Tron giveaway contest. You can find more about that at our Twitter handle at Beards Bitcoins. So before we do that though, and we listen to the podcast, or you guys are going to get to actually watch it, we need to pick our winner of the Dirty Wallet from yesterday. So let's pick that winner real quick here. Okay, and the winner is Mike Measy. Look at that. I know Mike is a good Bit Squad member. Congratulations, you are the winner of the wallet. I actually know you, so you can reach out to me on Telegram or Twitter and give me your address and what color you want, and we'll get that sent out to you. So thank you, everybody, for participating in that giveaway. Look forward to a lot of more giveaways on the channel, obviously. So without further ado, here is Beards and Bitcoins, episode 17.
Welcome back to your newest favorite podcast, Beards and Bitcoins, where BitBoy and J-Chains get together each week to talk about crypto and things happening in the community. They will bring you some special guests and giveaways, so make sure you're subscribed. For all show-related news, you can find the guys on various social media outlets. Everything is listed on the official show Twitter account, at Beards Bitcoins. Now, without further introduction, two dudes that have beards, like Bitcoins, and want to talk to you about both, BitBoy and J-Chains.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to your favorite podcast, Beards and Bitcoins. We are now on episode 17, just making progress every week, new episodes. So I am your co-host, BitBoy, and that is your other co-host, J-Chains. J-Chains, what is up?
What is up? What is up? How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. You're off to a good start?
Yeah, it's a new year, fresh 2019. So quickly, let's thank our one of our show sponsors, Huddle Fuel, huddlefuel.com, or on Twitter at Huddle Fuel. Make sure that you drop promo code Beards Bitcoins, save you 10%. But let's get into today's episode. Big special guest today, right? What do we got?
Yeah, well, we definitely got a special guest. It's an extra special guest whenever we bring on someone who also has a beard. So we've got the man, Robert Beadles, a.k.a. Crypto Beadles, here on the podcast. How are you doing, Robert?
Hey, I'm doing great, man. So it's like a bearded Beadles, and we got, I thought it was a prerequisite. All three of us had to have beards to come on the podcast. So,
well, we did
awesome,
we had Wendy on once, so.
Did you make her wear one? That would have been funny. But yeah, thanks for having me, man. It's great to be here.
Yeah, we're definitely glad to have you. And for anybody that doesn't know, his YouTube channel is Crypto Beadles. You can see, if you're watching on the video, you can see it behind him. If you're listening on the podcast, I think your Twitter handle is at Robert Beadles. Is that right?
Yep, just Robert Beadles.
Robert Beadles.
Yeah, I made sure that we own the Crypto Beadles one, but we've never done anything with it. So it's just been Robert Beadles since 2000, whatever. So
that's
it.
Just
never changed it.
Well, awesome. Well, if you guys didn't know, Beadles is also the president of Monarch, and we're proud to announce that they're going to be the new sponsor of our crypto Twitter shout out section. So the Monarch Twitter shout out. So who are you guys shouting out on Twitter today? I'll let you go first, Jay Chains.
I am going to shout out Steve McCullough. He is with the Apollo Foundation. They have the Apollo currency. He is one of the guys that make some decisions, and they do a lot of the marketing stuff. They've had a tremendous 2018 and really kind of kicking things off with a good 2019. So I'm excited to see, what he's got in store for his company. He's a good leader for what he's doing with the community and the project. So keep it up, Steve. I'd like to actually have him on the show. So I'm gonna get him in here. But what about you, Robert? Who do you want to shout out today?
Well, I mean, it would be kind of weird, right, if I shouted out, BitBoy, but so I guess I'll have to go with one of my other favorite tubers and people that kind of practice what they preach, right? So a guy named Ken Bosak. So Ken Bosak, I've been seeing this guy for like the past year at all these different conferences. He basically uses crypto everywhere he goes. So he actually does, what he talks about, right? So there's lots of people that say, hey, buy Bitcoin, use it, whatever, but they really don't, right? But this guy actually does. He books all of his airfare, he books his hotels, the conference, everything, all in Bitcoin. So it's really cool. Actually just had him on the channel, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes ago. And I was on his channel, I think, yesterday. So it was cool to learn even more about the guy. And so Ken Bosak, he practices what he preaches. He's all about crypto.
If you see him,
he's a good guy.
If you see him, you definitely can't miss him. So,
he's very unique, man. I love. He's got that big smile, big personality, and he's very, very colorful in his clothing, and he definitely stands out, which is awesome.
He does, and we talked about him. We've actually shouted him out before on the channel. He's one of the most loved guys in crypto. So obviously he's a popular person that people like to shout out. Because he does so much positivity for the space, and sometimes he gets a bad rap for stuff he wears or the way maybe he comes across. Some people don't like it, don't think it's professional enough. But if Ken, nobody is doing more for the space that's in the influencer world than him, because he's actually, like you said, practicing what he preaches. So
he's living it.
He is living it. Yeah.
Sure.
So, well, for me, I'm actually going to shout out a few people that are actually going to tie into the first thing we're going to be talking about, which, if you guys are listening to this on Thursday when we put it out, it is actually going to be January 3rd, which is the Proof of Keys event. Proof of Keys. So the person who kind of got this started is Trace Mayer. You can find him on Twitter at Trace Mayer. And then also a couple people that have been pretty big and instrumental in this. Friend of the show, Bitcoin Ben, who we definitely love a lot. And Omar from Crypto's News as well. I know Bitcoin Ben, I believe, is at Ben McChee or Minchie. I don't know the last name exactly. I think it's MCCHEE. And Omar,
it'll be on the post. You'll be able to click it.
Yeah, you'll be able to click it on the post. But Omar is also another big YouTuber. If you guys don't know, he's up for Crypto Influencer of the Year for the Crypto Influence Awards. And, all of these guys are really big on this event. So, J-Change, do you want to tell us a little bit about what this event is supposed to be about?
Are you talking about the one that's going to be down here in Texas?
No, the Proof of Keys.
Oh, the Proof of Keys. Yeah.
Right.
Well, it's kind of like if you tried to go to the bank and pull out all your money right now, they would, depending on how much money you had, if you had, several thousand and up, they tell you, no, you couldn't have all your money right now. So that's a proof that you don't own any of your money, right? So with crypto, the idea behind the Proof of Keys is that you own your money. You own all your crypto, all those tokens, all those coins are yours. So Proof of Keys means if I've got my keys, I'm going to pull everything out of the exchange. Now, if an exchange doesn't have the funds to cover your withdrawal, that means you don't own your crypto.
Right.
And you've got your crypto on the wrong exchange. So Proof of Keys is proof of your funds, proof that is your crypto. And so today, it's Thursday when you're listening to this, make sure that if you've got any funds sitting on exchange, throw them into a wallet, get them off the exchange.
Yeah. So, and then of course, like I said earlier, Robert is associated. He's not just associated, he's the president of Monarch, which is a crypto wallet. So I'm really interested to hear your take on the Proof of Keys event and how you think maybe Monarch can play into that and things like that.
Sure. So with, Monarch, like you said, the foundation of what we are is a decentralized wallet. From there, you can actually tie it into your bank account and buy and sell like Bitcoin and Ethereum. Here shortly, you'll be able to do reoccurring decentralized payment transactions for like your mortgage, your house payment, your car payment, all that kind of stuff. And then, of course, we have Monarch Pay, which is simply a way for merchants to be able to take cryptocurrency but be paid in fiat. So if you want to buy a pair of shoes, you got some Bitcoin, you basically use your Bitcoin, we convert it to fiat, we pay the merchant. So we've got all that stuff available now, today. With Proof of Keys, it's one of those things that it's one of those rights that you have to exercise or you may not be able to, right? And so it's a lot of people say it's stupid, it doesn't mean anything. But me, on the other hand, I look at it like, well, maybe they have it all, maybe they don't, but let's find out, right? So why not? It's as simple as just, sending it to a decentralized wallet to just verify that the funds are there. I mean, how hard is it really? It's not that hard. Why not do it? So some people say it's stupid and it's just, retarded. It doesn't make sense. They have the money, blah, blah, blah. But if they don't, you're going to be able to see. And then I think that there might be, some issues a little bit with, some bigger exchanges where they keep some of the Bitcoin and some of the more well-known cryptos, in cold storage. And so if they get a big run, so to speak, where people were trying to pull off a bunch of Bitcoin, Ethereum, stuff like that, and they have it in cold storage. There may be a little bit of delay from going the cold wallet to the hot wallet, so we might see some of that. But I don't think we're going to see any real issues from the big exchanges. I think maybe some of the small ones, maybe some of the small scammy ones that aren't really in the space for the right reasons. You might see those guys just close shop, right? But I don't think there's going to be that many of those. It's like, hey, where'd that XYZ exchange go?
Well,
exit scam.
Proof of keys. That was to their car with your funds, and yeah, they're down the road. So,
well, Hit BTC I think has already came out and said they're suspending customer withdrawals for tomorrow for Bitcoin. So, I don't know. Maybe it was a clickbaity article. I didn't actually read the article, but a lot of people were sharing that today. And you guys know John McAfee's already like railed against Hit BTC for being a scammy exchange, and I tried to use it and found it to be very scammy or buggy. I didn't like it, so I ended up not using it at all at some time last year. So it doesn't surprise me from a place like that. But you know what's really interesting about this is, you go to Binance all the time, and if you have trades or whatever, all the time, let's go back. Remember, we did a stellar giveaway. An XLM giveaway maybe about a month ago, and I had the XLM on Binance. It wasn't a huge amount. I think it was 150 XLM, and I was going to send it to our winner of our contest, which I believe was Irish Crypto Girl, and it was stuck. They said that all XLM withdrawals were suspended at that time, and actually took like about a week before I was able to do that. So I don't know. Will we see some of that with Bitcoin tomorrow? Will they kind of camouflage it like, no, there's just a lot of transactions on the network? I think we may see some of that, but I just my personal opinion on all this. It may not be the popular opinion when it comes to the community, because like I said, I like the idea of this. I like all of the guys who've been pushing it that I did the shout outs for. I love those guys. I think this event is going to be a big flop. And I do like the way the Beadles said, like, this is just a right that we have to do. And yeah, sure, that's great. I think that we kind of get in this little, an echo chamber a little bit for our community. Our community is so small, and we tend to think that the entire crypto community is watching YouTube videos and is on Twitter and is actually going to see this. I think that actually there's only a very small percentage of people that are in the crypto community that actually even see this to be part of it, if that makes sense. And then from there, you say what percentage of those people are actually going to do this. I think maybe this could be like a yearly thing, and it could turn into something down the road. But I don't think personally we're going to really see any repercussions. I think we're going to wake up on Friday, on January 4th, and I think everything's going to pretty much be the same. I could be totally wrong about it, but that's my personal opinion on it. What do you think about that, Jay Chains?
I think you're absolutely right. I don't think there's going to be any issues. I think if anything, there'll just be a clogged up network tomorrow. I think, but there were a lot of people that have been calling for, and some big names in the space have been calling for you to pull your funds off, over the last week or two. So, I slowly did a bunch of that. So I have nothing to worry about tomorrow personally. So I don't need to take part in the movement tomorrow, because everything's sitting in my wallets right now. So for now, I'm good.
I think that's.
So you're like, that's funny though. You're like, I don't think anything's going to happen, but I've already taken my currency off
just in case. I mean, you're not supposed to keep it on the exchange anyhow.
Exactly.
Sure. Yeah. But day traders, people like that, it is an inconvenience. If you hold a bunch of different tokens and coins and there isn't wallet support for them, and you have to hold them on different exchanges, it's going to be a pain in the butt for those traders and people like that. But I really don't think it's going to be a really big issue. Enough people, like you said, they just don't know about this yet. If everybody was in crypto, this could be a really big event down the road.
I agree.
But right now, I don't think it's, like I said, the most I think is going to happen is you're going to see maybe some delays, possibly. You might see a couple exchanges be found out to be, fakes, but I don't think there's going to be enough people doing this to really, do too much damage.
Well, I just go back to, if you guys know, and some people think some people think that this is actually, the timing of this had something to do with proof of keys. I don't agree with that at all. Coinbase moved, I believe, about $5 billion a couple weeks ago. Maybe it was 2 weeks ago, about a week ago, somewhere around there. And a lot of people said, oh, they're doing this in anticipation of proof of keys. I don't think that's true at all. I think they're getting ready for a lot of changes, and that's why they moved it to some cold storage through BitGo that is, I think they're like a custody company that takes care of crypto. Celsius uses them. Not exactly 100% sure what they do, but there were some stats on there that were very, very, very interesting. And I think it was something like, I'm going to throw some numbers out, and I may be totally wrong on these numbers, but they're relatively.
You're talking about Bitcoin price predictions?
Well, no, not yet. That's at the end of the show. We want your Bitcoin price prediction, and if you're wrong, you got to forfeit all your Bitcoin. So, but it was something like 30%.
BTC.
It was something like 30% of all Ethereum is on Coinbase. You know?
Oh yeah, some crazy number. You're right.
It was crazy. It was like 30% of all that. 35% of all Litecoin. It was somewhere between 10 and 15% of all Bitcoin is on Coinbase. And what that tells me is what a huge percentage of the crypto community, and by crypto community, I mean retail investors completely. Doesn't mean they're involved every day in the community. But that tells me that those people, they set it and forget it. They bought that stuff. It's sitting on Coinbase. And one day they think they may make some money off of it or not. Because if you're in the community and you listen to me, or you listen to the Coin Boys, or you listen to any bigger YouTubers, they're going to tell you, don't keep your money on an exchange, period. Now, if you're on Coinbase, you're not day trading. If your money is on Coinbase, you're not day trading with that money, obviously, right? You got to have it on an exchange to be able to day trade. So what that tells me is a large percentage of people that own crypto bought it, sit it there, and don't move it. And I think that money that's sitting on Coinbase, we won't see affected at all during this proof of keys. So I don't know. That's kind of what I base this idea that I don't think it's going to make a big impact. But, I think the idea of like getting your money off exchanges, if you're not a day trader, you have no business having your money on exchanges.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I mean, you gotta, if you are trading, and I mean, even a swing trader, day trader, whatever. Yeah, you want your funds at your fingertips so that you can do what you need to, and if you're watching that stuff. But I have to say, as far as BitBoy just introduced me to your wallet, Beadles, and I was going through it, and I'm really excited that it's super compatible with all ERC20s, and the availability that you have to it, and I was blown away. So I kind of want to talk to you about that and see. I think you mentioned you're going to be doing some updates to an Android version. I'm an Apple guy, so I'm looking at the iPhone version. But you said that you've got some updates going on, and you got any other plans going on with the app and future expansion with what you've got going on?
Oh, big time. So we already pushed up the new Apple app as well. We're just waiting for the store to make it live. For some reason, we did it back on the 30th, I think, something like that. But because of maybe New Year's and all the different, Christmas and all the different things that came up, I guess maybe the people there at Apple are a little slower to respond and get things approved. So anyways, we're waiting for the Apple to go live, but it's there, and this is what it looks like. I have it on my phone, so you can see, you can see what it looks like there. And so anyways, we've got a ton of updates. So if you had downloaded the wallet originally, it's a decentralized wallet. It supports, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, this Stellar, GoChain, TrueUSD, bunch of stuff like that. It allows you to track your portfolio. So it's kind of like a Blockfolio all in one. It allows you to track the market cap, check the news. But the biggest thing is you control your private key and your seed. So that way, if you want to, take your money anywhere in the world, nobody can ever tell you that you can't spend it. Nobody can seize it from you. It's yours. You can take that phone, go anywhere in the world, pay for goods and services, and you're fine. We just recently added the ability to buy and sell Bitcoin and Ethereum right from the wallet. So you have a decentralized wallet. So imagine you got Coinbase, right? You have your on-ramp and off-ramp for fiat. Well, you have that now, except this is a decentralized wallet. So when you buy and sell, you're actually taking from your bank account, buying crypto, and putting it in a decentralized wallet. So you own it. Like, for instance, if you bought it on Coinbase, Coinbase owns it, right? Because if there's a fork, maybe you'll get it, maybe you won't. If proof of keys ends up being this huge thing and all these exchanges close down, well, guess what? There goes your funds.
Yep.
If they get hacked, well, there goes your funds. So I wanted to make sure right from the beginning, we have a really solid and safe decentralized wallet that we kind of build up from. So that's kind of the foundation. So we added the fiat support so you can hook up your bank account to it. This week, you'll be able to hook up your credit card to it. Let's see what else we got going on. Like I said, we have, Monarch Pay for merchants. So now merchants today can sign up and start taking Bitcoin and Ethereum and be paid in fiat. So all this stuff is amidst, our token generation event. We've just been dropping tech this entire time. And lots of people, there's companies out there that have had $800 million market caps on a white paper, right? So from day one, when we launched our TGE, we dropped our wallet, a decentralized wallet that anybody can use. So, and like you said, every single ERC20 too. So that's, thousands of freaking tokens right there that you can store on this wallet. Yeah. Plus everything else. And we're adding more and more support all the time for other coins, but we do things different. We actually run a node for every one of these coins that we support. So that way it's real data. We're not relying on a third party. We're not, pulling from somebody else, hoping that their node is right or the information's right or any of that kind of stuff. We actually run nodes for each of these coins. So that way we know that the data we're getting is true and correct, so it takes a little bit of time to do that, but we've just been pushing out solid tech, that stuff that I would use and stuff that I'm proud of, all the time. And so we're going to continue to do that. And so as soon as Apple goes live, it should have been live already. I'm not sure, when they're going to show up and start working there at Apple, but once it's live, you'll be able to use it. And then, Android, we're making some more additions to it, and it'll be up to the standards of Apple, because we did a lot more on Apple than we have on Android. And that'll be in the next few weeks. And we have a lot of exciting stuff that's coming up. This is just the beginning. We're still going through our token generation event, and 99% of this stuff's built on my dime and my co-founder, Snae's dime. I actually own a software company, and I've created applications and platforms for people like the United States Post Office. So we created Monarch ourselves. All this is built in-house using, my resources, my developers, my time, and, Snae's help with what he does, the marketing side of things. And we're really just, proud of what we're able to put out there to the community. Everybody seems to, really like it. And we're easy to get a hold of too. So like on our Telegram channel, if people have questions or issues or any of that kind of stuff, if they want to help, be part of the ecosystem, we're right there for them 24 hours a day. We have, lots of people there, admins manning the Telegram, including myself. I'm there all the time. Snae's there all the time. We have bounties. So people that, I don't care if people ever buy our token. That's not why we're doing this. What we're doing is creating, tech and value for people to actually be able to use it, right? That's what we care about, is user adoption. Use it. Tell us if you like it, you love it, you hate it, whatever. We'll end up making our money, on the merchant side of things, charging merchants to do the fiat conversion. We want the people to have someplace, safe to put their crypto and to get into crypto and start adopting it and using it in commerce and all that kind of cool stuff. So that's what we're really trying to do here, is just bring some value to the community. And if anybody wants to just, earn some free tokens, just join our bounty. That way you don't have to pay for anything. You just do some, do whatever the little bounty bot says to do. I think it's like liking a post or sharing a post, stuff like that. And you end up getting, some tokens without having to spend any money, just some support, right? Just some time invested in the project, download the wallet for free, use it, and control your financial freedom right from the palm of your hand. It's just going to get better and better.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Now, do you have to KYC for that, to take advantage of some of the resources that you are going to be implementing, like you said, mortgage payments, all that kind of stuff? I mean, I assume some kind of KYC verification needs to be made for that.
Yeah. So one of the big, separators from us and others, is right from the beginning, we decided we're building a business, right? We're not building, a white paper and trying to raise a bunch of money and then just say, hey, sorry guys, it didn't work out, and leave. So I build businesses. That's what I do. So this is no different. We started from the very beginning, creating the tech, then, the white paper and all that kind of stuff, getting our broker dealer license, right? So that way we're actually in compliance, filing all the proper paperwork with the SEC to be compliant, not skirt around, all the regulatory issues and possible, I guess fines or imprisonment, all that stuff. And just, people just trying to stay away from the US, you know what I mean? Or no, it is a utility token, I promise, right? From the beginning, I said, no, we're going to do a security token and a utility token. We're going to do this legit. We're going to do this right. We're going to get the right paperwork. We're going to do all the right filings. We're going to make sure this is a freaking business, right? So just like with this, the decentralized wallet, you can take that anywhere in the world. But as soon as you touch fiat, okay, there's, KYC and AML stuff that has to happen to be compliant with the SEC. So yes, there is KYC and AML in place when you hook up your bank account, but you still have a decentralized wallet. You still own your seed. You still own your keys, but the government has to know that, BitBoy just bought, $10 million of freaking Ethereum or something like that, right? They still want to know that stuff, right? They want to know who you are. Who is this guy buying all this crypto, right? So in the US, that's the way, when you get a checking account or anything else, you do the same thing. You buy a car, you do the same thing. Buy a house, you do the same thing. There's paperwork in place. So when you touch fiat, you got to have a KYC. And all these decentralized exchanges, you're seeing them, they're implementing quietly KYC and AML because they're moving all this money. They may not be fiat, but it is a cryptocurrency. And so whether they're saying it's a true decentralized exchange, whatever, I think you saw pretty quick and clear that that doesn't mean anything, right? Because you had a decentralized exchange where the SEC went after them and they just quietly settled for $400,000. And, now KYC is being implemented and you can say it's software, this and that, but at the end of the day, if you're moving currencies, you're going to have to do KYC and AML if you want to be compliant here in the US and abroad. So rather than try and skirt around that, let's just be compliant right from the beginning, do everything right, but allow the people to own their key and seed. So that way they don't have to worry about somebody else taking their money.
That's how you do it, and you get it implemented, and you do it the right way. I mean, that's just the only way to do it.
Yeah, you got to. It's just not worth it, man. It's not worth, trying to, sidestep the SEC or just, or pretend like, oh yeah, it doesn't matter. It freaking does. So you definitely have to take the right steps to be compliant. So that's why from the beginning, we filed all the right paperwork, got our broker dealer license, did everything right when everybody thought it was crazy. And now everybody's saying, oh, STOs are the future. It's like, yeah, guys, I was telling you that a year ago when you told me I was retarded. So And now they're all running from the SEC, not touching the US. It's like, guys, I told you when you were trying to, pitch me your project that this isn't going to work. This is a straight security. You're promising returns. You're promising, this stuff's going to go up in value. This is not a utility. A utility is something that's like a gift card. It's like, hey, you've got, $100 of utility tokens. Guess what? They're $100 utility tokens, right? It's just like a $100 Amazon card. You don't expect it to go up in value. You use it in commerce. You use it to pay for things. You use it to maybe lessen fees, but you don't tell people, hey, this thing's going to be worth more tomorrow, because then guess what? It's security. And all these projects were saying that stuff. And I'm telling them, dude, you guys are going to be screwed. And like, oh no, you know what you're talking about. And, well, here we are. Where are they? So.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's definitely a good way to understand, what a security is. I think a lot of people have a hard time kind of wrestling and grappling with what actually is a security. It seems like the SEC doesn't even really know, if crypto is a security or not. We seem to continue to get confusion from them as well as from the CFTC. Nobody seems to know what crypto is. And that's why I think, I've been pretty open on my channel about saying I think eventually we'll have our own commission. We'll have our own crypto commission.
That's what came out, right? Somebody had said like the SEC really has no business regulating cryptocurrency because it's not really in their jurisdiction or their realm.
That's what Hester Pierce said. Yeah, Hester Pierce basically said that they're there to regulate the exchanges, not what's being traded on them, right? So that's more or less what she said. But
well, we also have didn't mean to cut you off there, but the Token Taxonomy Act, which was put together by one Republican and one Democratic, I believe, congressman. Who came out, and basically what that says is we need to have our own definition for cryptocurrency. The security definition that's been around since I believe 1933 does not fit with what crypto is. And the second part of the act is going to be they're actually going to get rid of the capital gains that goes along with trading token for token. So in the future, you'll be able to do those trades, and those won't be taxable events, which will be pretty cool. So I don't know, where do you kind of think the future of regulation is for crypto Beadles? That's crypto, Beadles, not crypto Beadles.
Yeah, Ron Paul has been huge, as far as, auditing the Fed, not lessening the tax bill, basically no taxes on cryptocurrencies, things like that. And it's kind of spilled off into this right here, which is awesome. As far as regulation, look, there's no way they're going to let us have all this, freedom, right? Without them having the ability to tax it, to be able to, profit from it. But they also know that they don't want to squeeze us too hard, because if they do, then we're just going to go somewhere else, right? They're smart enough to know that. So there needs to be a healthy amount of framework in place that people know, what is right. So that way, exactly, okay, this is the tax. If you're a big institution and you want to start putting your clients' money into this space, here's what you have to know. All that stuff has to happen, and I think we're going to see a lot of that, in 2019. Because right now, I think all we've really heard is, Bitcoin and Ethereum are most likely, commodities, right? So we're not thinking that there's securities anymore, which is cool because at least we have a little bit of clarity there, but we still have a long way to go. And I think that it's going to take, at least this year to get there. I mean, so many things that we were expecting to happen last year didn't, just because of regulation. People saw all this money being made. They're like, hey man, that 18-year-old kid over there has got a freaking Lamborghini. He just, freaking made 8,000x, and my clients, I can't even get him 8%. What's going on, right? So you see these people panic. The fiat, on ramps, off ramps into crypto get shut down. You see that the regulation, all this stuff starts coming out. People start getting scared, and you start seeing Bitcoin drop. Anyways, now I think enough people are starting to get ready to come into the space. Once they have the regulation that they need, we're going to see a different market emerge. You're going to see like the birth of a new stock market. I think that you're going to see, the stock market in general over the next, maybe a couple of years or something like that become tokenized, and you're going to have 24-hour trading. You're going to see you're going to see assets, you know what I mean? In these actual, instead of stocks, these are going to be like security coins, right? Security tokens, whatever you want to call them. I think you're going to start seeing that, but regulation has to happen first. I don't think they're going to crush people, because if they do, the people that, have, the big bags, the people that have the big, the big funds, all that kind of stuff, it's going to, freak them out, and they're going to do something else. The IRS and all these people, they want to make their money, and they know this is going to be a good way to do it. So they just have to put their heads together and figure out how to do it all. And I think this year is going to be a really good indicator on what they come up with, and there's probably gonna be some back and forth. It's gonna be like the initial tax code, right? This is an entirely new space. So I don't think anything is gonna happen definitively like this year. You're gonna see like, okay, X, Y, and Z, and then they're gonna see, oh, wait a minute, now we need to change, maybe make an X to elemental P, maybe make a little change over there. I think it's gonna be kind of fluid, over the course of this year, maybe into next year, before we actually have like really, really solid guidelines that people like Fidelity can just kind of rest their hat on and say, this is how it is, and this is how we're going to, safeguard our investments and protect our clients, et cetera, et cetera. And so it's just going to be a work in progress, I think, for a little while. And hopefully we'll get some clarity this year, though.
Well, I think you made a great point about, they got to be careful not to squeeze us too much, or else people will just leave. And that doesn't necessarily mean, citizens who have a lot of money going like moving to the Bahamas, because that's crazy. Who would do that? I'm just kidding. But what that actually means, though, is like blockchain companies. Like, why would you start a blockchain company in the United States if you knew that they were going to squeeze you to death? And South Korea has already gone through that. They've already seen that they tried to, make it illegal to have a blockchain company, or to make crypto illegal, and they tried to overregulate it to death. And so all of their blockchain companies said, that's fine, we'll leave, we'll go set up in Malta or in a crypto-friendly country. And eventually the government was like, dang, we need to rethink that, because we want their tax money, So
yeah, no, you hit the nail on the head. I mean, we have some really, really smart regulators that this is a new space to them, and they realize that, hey, we don't want to miss this bus, right? So they're going to do what needs to be done to, basically give us structure. It's just going to take a little bit of time. They don't want to lose out on all this money, so they would have. It would be like the death of America, right?
Yeah.
Crypto is going to be huge. Blockchain is going to be amazing. I mean, you already see all the patents. You already see, some of the biggest people in the space with like Facebook and Alibaba and IBM and you name it. They just Walmart, Amazon, freaking geez. You got even the shipping companies. They're all getting into this stuff. So they can see the writing on the wall, and they'll get their heads wrapped around this pretty soon, I would imagine, at least over the course of the next year, because they don't want to lose out on all this potential income that would just go to some other country. So I think we'll be okay. It's just going to take a minute.
Absolutely. I think you like what you said, IBM. I think IBM is one of the going to be one of the biggest players, to really emerge. I mean, with all the stuff that they've done with blockchain, with the shipping and in that industry. I mean, that to me is a win.
They're already partnered with Stellar, so.
They are? I didn't know that.
Yeah, IBM's been a partner with Stellar for quite a while now.
Hyperledger too, if I remember right.
Yeah, so they're definitely doing a lot of stuff. And we've already seen Microsoft that's involved in Bakkt. So we've got some bigger tech companies that are definitely trying to come in. Well, let's talk about 2019, because here we are. We're in 2019. Here I am. And so, I don't want to get like too crazy with predictions and saying like, what we think Bitcoin will be at. Obviously, we know, XRP will be at $589 by the end of the year. Um, but I just want to know, like, you've kind of been talking about, the stuff in the space getting strained out with regulation. I read an article today that was basically talking about how, finally institutions are starting to feel like that the volatility on the downside, at least, of crypto is kind of stabilized at this point, and they're getting ready to kind of jump in. What do you think? I guess the easiest way to kind of sum up what do you think the market will do this year would be, do you think that we will go up? Do you think we'll stay about the same? What is kind of your prediction for this year for crypto?
All right, so never financial advice. Always talk to a financial advisor or planner. We're just some dudes on YouTube just shooting the crap back and forth. So my personal opinion, and not financial advice at all, is I think we're going to go sideways for a while, right? We might go down a little bit more. There's no real reason for us to go up right now. You just have some high frequency trading bots, some whales, moving money behind the scenes, doing some OTC stuff. Like I said, you got the bots, basically pumping and dumping and pumping and dumping in little fractions. And you're seeing, it's like, ooh, it's green. Oh, it's red. Oh, it's green. Oh, it's red. You're seeing the market cap fluctuate between about 135 billion and 100 billion, and so right now, it doesn't take much to move this market. Right. It really doesn't. Like I always tell people, Bezos probably has enough in his couch, just enough loose change there, right, to move this market. So when you start seeing some of these big institutions come in, I think that's when you're going to start seeing, this thing go up. But right now, I think we're in a sideways progression. I think we need some regulation, some clear rules. Like Back just said that, hey, we're backing out. We're not coming in January, and we don't know when we're coming in. So
if you quarter one sometime, right?
If you read between the lines, and that's what I'm doing. I could be wrong, but if you read between the lines, it kind of looked like, hey, we're waiting for regulation. We're waiting for, how are we supposed to do this, guys? We're waiting for compliance and stuff like that. So for me, reading between the lines, it looks to me like they don't know exactly when they're going to launch, but they want to be compliant when they do. So I think a lot of the stuff's the can keeps getting kind of kicked down the road. Yep. I realize with the ETF,
that's what they're waiting on. Yes, I think. No. I think that's what they're waiting on.
Yeah, you could be absolutely right. Yeah. So, if we get that at the end of February, that's going to be, either really good or really bad for the space, right? Being able to print, a bunch of Bitcoin, especially in a market like this, that's kind of scary because that's basically what it is. It's paper Bitcoin. So you go from 21 million to times it by 300. Yeah, so that's kind of scary. But I think once we start seeing some bigger people come in, if we had like I did a video a little while ago, if we had 2% of the GDP come in, into crypto, which is quite possible, you end up with like a $3 million Bitcoin, right? So it's just a matter of when, not if, in my opinion, and it's just a matter of regulation. And I think we're going to start seeing a clearer picture of what regulation in crypto is, what tax ramifications are, what the regulators are thinking and actually doing. I think we'll see more and more of that this year. But I wouldn't expect, crazy gains, in the next, 6 months or anything like that for speculators and for people that are, they see the green and they're worried about missing out. I personally think that we've got a little ways to go before we start seeing some real movement in an upward direction, because right now there's just no reason for it. It's just people with some big bags and some big influence, making microtransactions, all the time, using bots and stuff like that to game the system and make money. So sideways for a while is what I'm thinking, or maybe down a little bit more before it goes back up.
So accumulate. Bye.
It all depends, man. People got to do what's best for them. Always get financial expert opinions before ever investing in anything.
Bye. Sorry, that was a little in sync.
Never invest more than you can afford to lose.
Okay, all right. Listen, I'm gonna pin you down on this, Beadles. This is what I want to know. I'm gonna pin you down on it. December 31st, 2019. Do you think Bitcoin will be closer to 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, or 50,000? A, B, C, or D?
All right. So on the end of the year.
Yep.
Well, see, it's one of those things. Like last year, we could have been there this year if we had, those big players come in. So if we have the big players come in, then I think we're going to be somewhere between 20 to 50.
Oh, okay.
If nobody comes in, we just basically stay like we are, I'm thinking of 5. So you'll know right away if you start seeing Fidelity and Goldman Sachs and all these cats start coming in. I'm going with D all day long, baby. But if nothing happens again like this year, well, there's no real reason for any price movement in the upward direction if nobody else comes in. It's just us using the same crypto back and forth, right? Yep. Or these little bots using the same crypto back and forth to move it up and move it down.
Well, I've been very interested to see those types of predictions. Like, people are more bullish for 2019 than I thought they would be, and to me, that's what the bear market has done to me personally. Is like, oh, you think we'll be at 15,000 by the end of the year? That's great. Like, I would take that in a heartbeat right now. When we're down around 3,000, 6,000 feels like the moon, So that's definitely the effect where if you would have asked my opinion 3 months ago or 6 months ago, I would have thought that, $10,000 or $15,000 by the end of this year would have been, the worst possible, like basically just total chaos and pandemonium. So I don't know. It's just been very interesting to see, what a lot of people have said, and not like moon boys, as they say, people that are realistic about, where the space is going and stuff like that. So
yeah, right now we don't have any adoption. Everything we have sucks. It all needs to get better, needs to work. I mean, last time we weren't ready for it. This time, hopefully we'll have working tech. We'll have stuff that's better than centralized services, and people will start actually using the stuff because it's cool and it's better than the stuff that they're using now. And that's when you'll start seeing blockchain really take off. I mean, if you're just looking at this from speculation, then we got a long ways to go. We need some serious money to come in for the speculators see any profit. But I think where everybody's going to win is when we start having some really, really cool tech that works, right? Better than centralized stuff. That's blockchain. And that's when I think you're really going to start seeing adoption. And then it's not going to really matter anymore about, what big guy comes in, because everybody's going to be using it and not knowing that they are. It's going to be awesome.
Well, that is great. Well, we are getting to the end of the show here. I know you got to cut off here. So, So Beadles, listen, I want you to give us the 15-second pitch on Monarch and tell them where they can go if they're interested in getting in on the ICO. And then Jay Chains, you send us out.
All
right. So for Monarch, it's free, right? Go download the wallet for free. Use our merchant services for free, right? So if you're a merchant and you want to accept crypto and be paid in fiat, the service, is free. There's no membership. If you want to basically hold your cryptocurrencies in a safe, decentralized wallet, go down with the Monarch wallet. It's free. If you guys want to hook up your bank account to it, your credit card, and start buying and selling crypto and putting it on your decentralized wallet and know that it's decentralized and know that it's safe, like I said, it's free. You have contact us 24 hours a day. So we're here to just add value, man, and add something that's really, really cool. I don't care if you guys ever buy a token or not. Just download the tech. Tell me if you like it, you love it, you hate it, whatever. And I look forward to getting to know each and every one of you guys that hit us up. You can find me anytime on Monarch Token. That's our Telegram. So it's just Monarch Token right there on Telegram. It's real easy to get a hold of me or anybody there. And for my channel, it's just Crypto Beadles. Just type it in. You'll be able to find all the projects we cover for the community.
Awesome, man. Thank you for being on the show, BitBoy. It's always fun chit-chatting with you. Happy New Year, everyone. Take care of your private keys. Hide your coins. Hide your keys. We'll see you next time.
All right. We'll see you guys.
God bless. All right. God bless.
All right. See you.
All right. I'll talk to you guys soon. I got to jump onto the next one now.
All right, man.
All right, brother.
We'll see you, Beadles. All right, bye.
You got it, brother.
Okay, well, we got a new sponsor. How about that? That was easy.
Dude, that was not...
I'm going to tell him 35.
No,
I'm going to tell him $35 a show. Does that sound good?
What were we getting before?
I'm going to tell him like 140. Crypto Movement was paying $30 a show.
Okay.
So we'll tell him 35, and we'll just say, look, we'll just do it per month. So we'll do like 140 per month, and if we do 5 shows during a month, he just gets a bonus show. Most months actually may have 5, but anyways, regardless of that, we'll try that. So we'll up it a little bit. I think he would almost pay whatever we said, but obviously I want to be fair.
Do we muscle him into that, or does it not matter? He's cool as fuck.
I bet muscle into what?
Into being the sponsor.
Did we? I didn't mean to. It was totally spontaneous. I was kidding.
I didn't work.
I was kidding, and he was like, "Oh yeah, sure, we'd love to do that. Support the community." So,
yeah, I'm into it.
Yeah, dude, he's such an awesome dude, man.
Such an awesome dude.
He's such an.
That's a good call getting him.
Yeah,
and it's worked perfect with tomorrow being your keys day and that conversation.
Yeah,
he's totally against it, but it doesn't matter.
He's totally against it.
I think so.
You think so? Well, the one thing I've been thinking about, honestly, well, let me end our stream here. Hold on.